and people suffer. Blacks suffer because of their skin color. So that's why sometimes when you use the word Negro on a black person, it doesn't mean they actually hate you for using the word. It's just like it has a deep history. It has something at the back of the word Negro that you don't really know. And people were using the word Negro to depress people, to suppress people and mistreat them because why? You are a Negro, so you don't have rights. You are a Negro, so you cannot do this. You are a Negro, so you are not qualified for this job. You are a Negro, so you are not allowed to go for this party. You are a Negro, so you are not allowed to be in this gathering. You are a Negro, so you are not allowed to be a leader in this part of the world, in this place. And you are a Negro, you cannot ride this bus, you cannot ride this car, you cannot ride this train. What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to a brand new vlog with your boss Success. So today we are live from the beautiful city of BGC, Bonifacio Global City. So let's take a look around here just before we start the vlog. So this is where the rich actually are. So I'm in this spot right here. I usually love to come and sit down here, and it's cool here because you have a lot of trees. And look here, so these are the trees right here, and it's cool right here, man. It's chill. But today your boy is coming with a very informative video to you guys once again. So today I'm going to be answering a question. I'm going to be giving you a history on the word Negro. So today we're going to talk about why some blacks gets offended when you use the word Negro or when you call them Negro. So not every blacks actually get offended. I don't get offended. If you call me Negro, I mean I'm cool, man. I don't really get offended. And Negro is not a racist word in every country. So just before we start, I want to clarify to you that Negro is not racist in every country, because there are some countries who don't know the history of Negro, or they have no part in the word Negro. All they know is that Negro is a word used to describe blacks. But we also want to help people, kind of like, enlighten people's minds on the word and the history. So we should actually be careful using the word, because you cannot just use Negro everywhere or every part of the world. Like, there are some places, if you use the word Negro, you're actually going to be in a very big trouble. So I did a video recently asking Filipinos, is Negro a racist word in the Philippines? That's because Negro is a racist word in the US. Negro is a racist word in most parts of Europe, and that's for a reason. That's why we're gonna go directly into history today. So I'm from Africa. As you can see, obviously I'm black. I'm very black. I don't get offended by the word Negro, but this is what we were taught in our history, and I'm gonna explain everything to you today. So I urge you to watch this video till the end. Make sure to watch this video till the end. Stay tuned. And if you're new here, I'm Success. I do travel vlogs around the Philippines / lifestyle vlogs. If you want to stay tuned for all of my travels, all of my videos from the Philippines and around the world, make sure to smash that subscribe button just before we get started. Like this video, give this video a like so a lot of people can see this video and actually know when or where to use the word Negro. And also comment down below your thoughts. Give us your thoughts, or what do you know about Negro? I know a lot of you guys, especially from the Philippines, a lot of my viewers are from the Philippines. That's why I'm creating this video, to help you guys. So make sure to watch till the end. First thing, I did a video asking Filipinos, so I want to work a little bit. I love working. I did a video asking Filipinos, is Negro a racist? Well, I did 3 of those videos, and a lot of people commented on the videos, and almost all of the comments were the same. So 90% of people who commented on the 3 videos said Negro is actually used to describe the color black or a black person. So usually when you are a black person in the Philippines, the easier way to recognize you or to refer to you is just to say Negro. And sometimes some people actually know the history of the word Negro, or knows that it is a byword. They actually try to use it to bully people, to tease people. Sometimes teasing is not really good, because it might end up in trouble, and it's not just good, Yeah, so it's good to joke with your friends. If the person is your friend, you want to joke with them, it's actually good. But if you are teasing someone that you don't know, you might get into trouble. That's why we want to talk about the word Negro and why you could get into trouble with the word. So now, a lot of people answer in the comment section and said that Negro is a word used to describe black people, which is actually true. So even if you go in the dictionary and define the word Negro, it's actually used to describe black people or someone with the color black. But if Negro is used to describe blacks in general, because not blacks in general. I was asking my friends, this is funny, but I was asking my friends, could you call a black house, a house that is been painted with black, could you call the house Negro? Because in some of the comments they actually just said Negro is actually a way of describing black. But could you call a black house Negro? A black car, a car that is black, could you say the car is a Negro? Could you call the car like Negro, hey you Negro? Or a dog that is black, or a cat that is black, could you call the black cat a Negro? No, it is actually specified, or it is actually attached to people like humans, like us who are black. And this is why, before we go deep into the video, I will tell you that every word you see in the dictionary were invented by people, and someone invented the word Negro and said like, okay, we're going to refer to black people as Negro. That's why when I was studying geography in my country, there is a part of our geography that actually tells us that Negroes lives in Africa. It was funny, like when I was in grade 7 and I read that, because it's actually part of the first period note in grade 7, you actually read that Negroes lives in Africa in your geography. I can still remember that. So Negroes lives in Africa. We used to laugh about it, but before going to grade 7, there's a very deep history in grade 6 that you will start learning from grade 4, grade 5, and grade 6, and that's something called the ACS, American Colonization Society. So when they are teaching you about the ACS, then that's where you discover the root of the word Negro. So this is the real history of the word Negro. Now let's go directly into it. Just make sure to sit and listen quietly. I'm gonna take my time to talk to you guys and make sure you understand the video. Back in the days, like many years ago, like many years ago, when I was not born, my grandfather was not born, sorry, and my father was not born, my great-grandfather was not born, there were sailors from Europe, from the US, from other part of the world, sailing across the sea, and they discovered a continent called Africa, where you had indigenous people who were not educated. These people were not educated. These people were living in the old stone age. The old stone age is where people have to go fishing, people have to go farming, people have to go hunting just to survive. And these people were living in small settlements. So these small settlements, if for example BGC here is a settlement in Tagui right here, and then you have another settlement in Las Piñas. So people from Las Piñas or people from BGC usually go to Las Piñas and fight against Las Piñas and conquer Las Piñas and bring the prisoners in BGC and enslave them, or keep them in prison or something, or later they have to adapt to the way of life of people living in BGC and live like people in BGC. So people were actually fighting tribal wars. So tribal war is kind of like different ethnic groups fighting against each other, which a lot of you guys in the Philippines also knows that when I traveled to Ifugao last time, people explained to me about the tribal wars, and they actually told me about people who kill a lot of people. And now the tattoo, like the tattoo stuff, if you kill a lot of people on the battlefield and you came back, they're gonna put a tattoo on you. So for every human hair that you brought back, they're gonna put a tattoo on you, and the more human hair you brought back, the more powerful you become in like the town or in your settlement. So we had the same in Africa. So when this sailor went to Africa, and the settlements that were actually close to the ocean or to the sea, so they were actually accessed by the sailors who went to Africa first. So the sailors had wine like vodka, they had weapons like gun, and the people in Africa were not actually open to those things. It was actually their first time seeing a gun. It was their first time seeing wine, like the wine people make, like not the real wine, like you just go to the palm tree and get a wine, because in Africa we have something, you just go to the palm tree, get a wine and drink it. But a wine that has been made from the Western world, it was their first time seeing them. So these people use this wine, the weapons, to give to these people, and persuaded their minds and got some black people and transported them to the US, to Europe, to these countries that you already know about, Spain, especially Spain, Portugal, like the Portuguese. And this is a history. I don't want, if you are Spanish watching this video, don't get offended. If you are American, don't get offended. If you are from any part of the world, this is over. I'm just trying to enlighten people's mind on the word Negro. So this is the history of Negro. So they will actually transport these things to the Western world. Oh, the slaves to the Western world. Once they reached to the Western world, it became a very big business because people were paying high money, like a lot of money for slaves. So many people got in the business, so it became a business, and people started sailing to Africa to collect more slaves and using the same method. And then what actually happened was that if they came to me, I'm the king of this place, they give me enough guns, I go fight against another tribe that don't have a gun. Of course, you know, right? If you're fighting with knife and then I have gun, it's easy to overpower you because I have a gun. I could stay far and just shoot you. So they were using these guns to capture more slaves and sell the slave or give the slave to the Western people, the white guys, because these white guys have already corrupted the minds of some African leaders. Now, after transporting millions of slaves in America, how do the slaves master communicate with people that they haven't seen, people from different parts of the world that speak different languages, and they don't understand, you know, their languages? So if you want to call your slave, if you bought a slave in the market and you want to refer to him, you want to call him, they needed a general name to refer to these people, because these people were blacks and very different from every other people living like in this part of the world. So they actually invented the name Negro. So every slaves were called Negro. That was the name, like Negro, Negro, Negro. So the slaves were actually referred to as Negro. So during those days, if you are referred to as a Negro, meaning you are nothing, like you are a slave, you are just a slave, you are nothing, you can be used by anyone can use you. And do you know what actually happened to these slaves? Most of these slaves were raped, they were treated bad, they were actually tortured, and so many things. It's a very long history that I can't go into, but this will actually help you. So referring to these black people as Negro make it easy for slave master to, you know, connect with them, because like every black people were considered as Negro. It was a word immediately the word was invented to refer to blacks that were transported to the Western world. So they were calling them Negro. That's why you don't use Negro on any other thing that is black. You only use Negro on black person, like person who is black, you use the word Negro on them, but you don't use the word Negro on like a black car. Maybe you saw this black car passing and you say, oh, that car is a Negro. No, you don't do that. Like you say, oh, maybe the house, oh, this house is a Negro. It's impossible. I've never seen anyone doing that, and I don't think we're gonna see people doing it. So that's why it is only attached to black people. Now, after many years, people around the world, especially Christians, decided to keeping the slave and, you know, just holding down to people's life and controlling their life. It's not really a good idea, and people decided to abolish slave. Like people, like there was a period called the abolishment of slavery or something. So that's where they taught us in history, and people decided to, you know, let slaves to be free and live their own lives. If they want to live in the US, they live in the US. They want to live in Europe, they live in Europe. And most of these slaves were transported back to the US. And that's where I'm gonna jump right into another history. Now, a lot of you guys know that I'm from Liberia. I'm from a country, a very small country called Liberia. And some of you guys don't know how Liberia was founded. And I don't think it's actually important for you to know, but since you are watching the video right now, I thought it was to educate you guys on that as well. So now let's go back. When they decided to abolish slaves and return the slaves back to Africa, where they took them from, people were confused of where exactly these slaves were from. So they just needed to put them in a boat or a ship and transport them to, you know, Africa, and find a place to settle them, because it was not easy to settle them. Like Africa was already developed, or people were already settling in Africa, and there were already, I think, countries. There were already countries, so you could not just go to Africa and settle the slaves anywhere. So they needed a particular place, and that's how my country was founded, because the meaning of Liberia is free land of liberty. We have similar flag as the US flag, and our flag has one star. The US has 52 stars or have 52 stars. So the people they took back to Africa, or the first set of slaves they took back to Africa, they actually settled them in Liberia. So that was a negotiation between the indigenous people of Liberia and the ACS, the American Colonization Society at the time. So now some people, some slaves master decided to promote their slaves and educate their slaves, and in fact gave the plantation that they were taking care of to the slaves, and some people were really good. Now another thing happened. Now this is where the word Negro became racist, and we consider it racist, or black people consider it racist. So after the abolishment of slaves, some slaves decided to live in America because they were trusted by their slave master, and they had good slave master who took good care of them. So they decided to live in America. On the other hand, some black guys actually had white ladies that they had sex with and had kids by them, so they were considered families already. And some white guys also marry blacks at the time, or mistakenly try to rape some black girls, and then they had kids by them. And these kids were like the mulatto, if you know about the mulatto, and African American. That's the history of those African American and everything. So overall, America decided to keep some slaves. Now these people that were living in the Western world that decided not to go back to Africa or wanted to live in America, people were still considering them as slaves and treating them as slaves. There was a time, if you got in the bus, like you are traveling somewhere and then you got in the bus to travel to this place, make sure to watch this video to the end because it's a very deep history. And you got in the bus to travel, like for example, you are leaving BGC to go to Makati, and then you need to ride a bus or a train. If you get in the train and you are a black person, you are seated on a seat, and a white person enter the train, you have to stand. You as a black person, you will wake up and stand, and the white person will sit down, because white and blacks were not equal, and blacks were referred to as Negro. So usually if a black person decided not to stand, or decided to behave strong and not wanting to consider black superior over them, then they started to use the word, or Negro did this, Negro is this, he's a Negro, you are just a Negro. And that's where the war it started getting really racist in the modern war, and the racism entered the modern war, which is actually it's saddening to see. And put yourself in that shoes. Like you went to a supermarket, or you are not allowed to enter into certain stores because you are considered a Negro, and someone be like, no, you are a Negro, you cannot enter here. Because you are a Negro, you cannot shop it in this supermarket, you cannot enter this store. People were mistreated, and so because of that, or because of all of those things, I can't tell you all, but I will just enlighten you a little bit. I can't tell you all. Because of these things, whenever you use the word Negro on a black person, especially people from the US, because these histories are still in our minds, in a lot of people's minds, like the history of our forefathers being slaves and how they were treated, the process. It took so many years, like hundreds of years. What I'm telling you, it took so many years, and people suffer. Blacks suffer because of their skin color. So that's why sometimes when you use the word Negro on a black person, it doesn't mean they actually hate you for using the word. It's just like it has a deep history. It has something at the back of the word Negro that you don't really know. And people were using the word Negro to depress people, to suppress people and mistreat them, because why? You are a Negro, so you don't have rights. You are a Negro, so you cannot do this. You are a Negro, so you are not qualified for this job. You are a Negro, so you are not allowed to go for this party. You are a Negro, so you are not allowed to be in this gathering. You are a Negro, so you are not allowed to be a leader in this part of the world, in this place. And you are a Negro, you cannot ride this bus, you cannot ride this car, you cannot ride this train. But if you're gonna ride the train, you have to stand, because the white people need to sit down. So it's a very deep history, and Filipinos only know that Negro is used to describe a person with a black color, but for blacks it's the opposite of what you are thinking. We are not saying you are wrong, we actually appreciate the Philippines because the Philippines is not a racist country, and they don't know the history, or they don't know the history of blacks and what blacks has actually been through. I actually decided to do this video. I'm not actually able to explain everything from start to end, but these things, the little I have explained, I hope it can enlighten your mind and actually give you a clue on why blacks get angry or offended when you use the word Negro. Because actually the word Negro, once you pronounce the word Negro, it triggers something in our minds, like in the black person mind. It really triggers something, like it really kind of brings something up, like bring history back. You know, it actually take your mind back to history, and you just imagine how your forefathers, or you just remember how your forefathers were treated and how they were tortured because of the war of their name Negro, because they were considered Negro, they were not allowed to do certain things. And now that we blacks are free, I think we should just refer to each other as names. Like, you can call me Success. If you don't know my name, just ask me like, hey man, what's your name, instead of using the word Negro. For me, if you call me Negro, I won't actually be offended, I won't get angry about it or whatever. But if you're going to use the word Negro on some people or on other blacks, they will actually get offended. And you know, there are some places, especially in the US, that the word Negro is not allowed. If you use the word Negro, you could be sued for the word Negro, and you could actually go to prison, or you could be fined. Just, it's not just good, it has been like something in the US that people don't actually use. So for those of you in the Philippines, I do appreciate all of your comments. I do appreciate your honest opinion on the word Negro, and this is just to also help you and educate you on the word Negro and why people actually get angry. So sometimes if you use the word Negro next time and someone gets angry, and you actually understand why this person is angry by the word Negro, and yeah, so it's just understanding, man. But not every black people, man. Most black people don't really get angry about it, especially in the Philippines. Since we know that the Filipinos are not racist, we don't really get angry about it. But this video is also for other people, because some of my viewers are also non-Filipinos. Some of my viewers live in the US, in Europe, or other part of the world, and this is to help you and always control the word Negro, or how you use the word Negro. Just be careful on how you use the word Negro. And yeah, and I think that's it for today's vlog. If there's something that you didn't understand about what I said in this video, please make sure to comment down below. You can chat me about it, we can talk about it. Like I said, I'm not able to explain everything, but hopefully this is going to help you to give you an insight, or to give you a little clue on the word Negro. Or the most important thing is that I want you to know why blacks get angry when they are called Negroes. So this is just it. And it was invented for blacks, for slaves. It was actually invented for slaves. Logically, it was invented for slaves. That's how people refer to slaves back then in the days. And that's it. So I love you guys, and thanks for watching this video till this time. Once again, it's your boy Success, and just before you go, make sure to smash that subscribe button. Stay tuned, and if there's something you want me to talk about, if there are questions you have about the word Negro or racism in the Philippines, make sure to leave a comment down below, and I'm gonna reply to you, or I'm gonna do another video to clarify things. And yeah, I love you guys, so hope to see you guys in the next one. It's your boy Success. Peace and stay safe. Happy Holy Week, guys. Peace.